time to forgive, let go, forget. Even if it's hard, both of us together will change everything. This is a very famous Israeli song, and the reason I use it is because a few days from now, on the eve of the 13th and the day of the 14th of April, we will commemorate the Israeli Memorial Day for fallen soldiers and victims of terrorism. In Hebrew, Yom HaZikaron. Zikaron, Yom is a day, Zikaron is memory or remembering, or remembrance. And after that, one day after Memorial Day, we have Independence Day, which is a very happy day. So many times Israelis wonder about should Memory Day and Independence Day should be so attached to each other. But I want to discuss another topic, which is a quite controversial event that takes place on the evening of Memorial Day. Usually on Memorial Day we have ceremonies to commemorate, to remember the people who fell in combat or in acts of terrorism. And we very much focus on ourselves, on our own grief, on our own pain. But I want to discuss another ceremony that takes place at the same time, which is in Hebrew, טקס יום הזיכרון הישראלי-פלסטיני. In English, the joint Israeli-Palestinian memorial ceremony, held by two main organizations. The first one is פורום המשפחות השכולות הישראלי-פלסטיני, the Forum of Israeli and Palestinian bereaved families for reconciliation and peace, and לוחמים לשלום, which translates to combatants for peace or fighting for peace.
זו השנה ה-14 שאנו מתכנסים יחד בערב יום הזיכרון, ישראלים ופלסטינים, כדי לשתף בכאב וכדי להציע תקווה. וכן כדי לזכור שהמלחמה אינה גזירת גורל, וכי היכולת לשנות את המציאות היא בידינו. המציאות של השבועות והימים האחרונים אולי מקשה עלינו לדמיין התכנסות גדולה כל כך של אנשים שלא איבדו את התקווה, שממשיכים וממשיכות להאמין באפשרות של שלום ושוויון לשני העמים. ולכן, הנה אנחנו פה.
So as I said, usually in traditional ceremonies we focus on ourselves, on the Israelis who died in combat or in terrorism. But of course it's very human, right, to focus on yourself, on your own grief, and not to consider what the enemy is going through. But the people in the alternative ceremony, what they say is that Israelis and Palestinians cannot end the conflict, which has been lasting for more than 100 years, if we keep seeing each other as enemy. And one way to keep seeing each other as enemy is by focusing only on our own pain and saying we have a unique pain and grief as Israelis, as Jews, or on the other side as Palestinians and Muslims. And we want to see this pain and grief as universal, as human.
الحرب ليست قضاء وقدرا، وعلى الرغم من أن هذا الواقع الآخذ بالتعقيد والأمور تسير باتجاه التطرف، إمكانية تغيير الواقع بأيدينا جميعنا، إسرائيليات وفلسطينيات، إسرائيليون وفلسطينيون، ضحايا هذا الصراع، هذا الألم وهذا الفقدان، ولكننا صانعوه أيضا.
And obviously it's very hard for many people, so this event creates a lot of opposition, a lot of people who want to boycott it and protest against it.
יום זיכרון זה אחד הדברים שהוא קונסנזוס לאומי, ולהפוך אותו לשחק ברגשות של אנשים על מנת להשיג איזה שהם רווחים פוליטיים, לדעתי זה פשוט שערורייה.
עצם קיומו של הטקס מעורר בחברה הישראלית מחלוקת גדולה ותאונה בשנים האחרונות.
זה לתקוע אצבע בעין לכל אלה שבאמת כואבים ורוצים להתאחד עם נופלים שלנו. להביא לפה משפחות מחבלים, וזה כן משפחות מחבלים, שלא יספרו לי סיפורים.
But still, even though it creates a lot of opposition, it also creates a lot of support. And many people say, okay, we have to face the fact that the other side is also human, and we need to address their pain and grief as well, and we cannot end the conflict without that understanding. So where do I stand on this issue? I will share my personal story. It's not really my personal story, it's my mother's personal story. She married her first husband when she was 20 years old, and her husband went to a war in 1982 in Lebanon, and he died there when she was pregnant with my older brother, her first son. And after he was born, she met the person who came to be my father and my younger brother's father. So we are a bereaved family, and we get a lot of credit and benefits for that by Israeli society. But my mother never thought of the other side of the people who killed her husband, or the people who are responsible for her husband's death. She never thought of hating them, or she never thought of vengeance, or seeing them as not human or anything. She understood that she just doesn't want this to happen ever again to anybody else. So she also joins the forum of bereaved families of Israelis and Palestinians, and she wants to hear the pain and the grief of the other side, and to try to understand the other side, and the other side to understand her side. So only because of that, she believes that we could have, only with empathy and understanding, we can see each other as humans and stop being in each other's throats. So I believe in that message, and I believe that we should have this joint ceremony. But I do understand the people who oppose it, who are against it, who say this is our own grief. I can barely process my own pain and grief, and I don't want the other people who are the fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and cousins and relatives of the people who killed my loved one. They are terrorists in my eyes, not in my eyes, but in the opposition's eyes. And I don't want to have anything with them. They are my enemy, and that's the end of it. So of course I can understand that point of view as well, and I can't tell a person how to respond emotionally. But I still see that there are two sides to every coin. And so let me know what you think. How do you think this? Like, do we need to stop doing the ceremony? Is it too offensive to people who lost their loved ones, or should we have this ceremony to help bringing empathy and peace to this region? And how do you think about your own Memorial Day? Is it still like a vivid thing in your country, in your culture? Is it more vivid than in Israel? Is it less vivid? Do you have peace in your area, or are you also in a combat area? So let me know what you think, share your feelings and thoughts, and happy Independence Day for Israel. Bye bye.